everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Our topic of discussion this week is centered around courage. Some people have been asking me, I really want to change my life in this aspect, or I want to be more in alignment with who I am, but I am afraid of upsetting my parents. They might not approve of this. I'm afraid of not adhering to my belief system, which I've been doing all my life and I don't know how to change. I am afraid because in my culture we don't do things in that way. So if I suddenly did that, then what would people around me say? Would I still fit in with my friends and family and my community as a whole? What do I do? And so I thought it would be good for us this week to just tap a little bit into this topic and see how we can bring out that courageous side of ourselves, because we all have it. We might not practice it, but each and every single one of us has courage, and we just need to let it out to allow ourselves to be who we really want to be. And so let's get started. There's a famous saying that I really love with regards to courage that says, courage does not always roar. Sometimes courage is that little small voice at the end of the day that says, I will try again tomorrow. When many of us think of courage, sometimes we see it as this big thing where suddenly, in a forceful manner, I say, this is my place, I want to do it in this way, and then I suddenly am in control. But courage is not about being forceful. Courage is about being truthful and stepping into your own space. When I say your own space, I mean who you really are, and owning it. And you don't have to be forceful to do that. You can be very loving and courageous at the same time. So let's get rid of this idea of being dramatic when you're being courageous, and just know that to have courage is to just speak your truth, to walk your truth, so to speak. The first thing that I think is important for us to understand is that we always have a choice. Now, I know that sometimes it doesn't look like we have a choice. Sometimes we feel like we are forced into a particular corner and we have no way out, but we really always have a choice. And not making a choice is a choice. It's a choice for things to remain the same. And so it doesn't matter if you say, oh, I'm not going to have anything to do with that. That's already a choice. You're saying that you don't want things to change. So choices are always available for us. I'm someone who believes that we always have choice. I believe we chose our families, we chose our parents, we chose the location in which we were born, we chose everything, because I believe that as a soul, when we come here, we want to grow in a particular way. And so we choose conditions that are conducive for us to do that. That means we choose parents with a particular set of characteristics because we are going to benefit from them. They're going to help us with our growth as a soul. Now, I also believe in energy exchange. That even though we choose our families and our communities to learn from them, but we also come to teach them something. So with our families and our friends and in our communities, not only are we learning from that community, but we are also teaching something. There is something that we have that other people can learn from. And so if you look at your parents, sometimes it doesn't look like we could teach our parents anything because they know so much, but they actually do learn from us. And so on this basis that we choose something because we can grow from it, and we also choose it because we can teach something, I believe there's always this exchange between what we are giving to our community, to our families, and what we are getting from them. And so I think that if you are not yourself, then not only are you doing yourself a disservice, you're doing other people around you a disservice as well, because they are here not only to teach you something, but to learn from you. And when you are your best self, that's when that lesson is going to come in for them. You sort of liberate them to be themselves as well. And so being who you really want to be is not just about you. It's about those people around you learning from you what it means to actually be yourself. And so if you hide that, or if you don't fully blossom into who you really are out of fear, then you're not only depriving yourself, you're depriving your family, your friends, your community of this awesomeness that is you, because you're hiding it away from them. And if you are a parent and you're raising children, please allow them to be themselves. Sometimes out of our own fears and out of our own misunderstandings or things that we didn't do for ourselves when we were young, we start to put that on our children and say, okay, I wanted to be a doctor and then I couldn't make it into medical school, so you are going to be a doctor. But maybe they were born to be something different. So what you want to do is to understand your child and the gifts that they have, because children are so good at showing what they are good at. It just comes out of them. So take a look at that and then encourage that. Encourage them to be themselves at any given moment, because if we force our own will, our own opinions on them, then we do them a disservice. They are not here to just follow us because we brought them into this world. They are here to be loved and to be given an environment where they can really be who they are, and we are responsible for allowing that to come through. And a lot of people that I talk to in my coaching classes, they are dealing with childhood issues. I could never be myself because my mom said. I could never do this because my dad said. And it's a lot of undoing what happened in the past, what family said and what friends said. This is really what's holding people back. And so if you're a parent or you're thinking of becoming a parent, please just allow your children, allow people around you to be who they are. They shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around you because you are there and you're older and you brought them into this world. Be loving. Let them have this environment where they can come to you and say, Dad, Mom, this is who I really am. Can I be that? And you allow them to express themselves. You don't want them to become an adult who's full of resentment towards you because they couldn't be themselves. And then they have to do a lot of work to undo all of these things when we could have simply just chosen, because we always have choices, to allow them to be exactly who they are meant to be. The second thing is about fear. Now, a few years ago, I read a book that's called Conversations with God, and I really love this series of books. And there was something in there that just changed my life. It defined fear in a way that I had never heard of before. It said that fear is false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. I was like, oh my God, that is so true. Because when we are fearful, all of these things that are untrue seem as though they're going to happen. Now think of a time when you felt fear. You want to do something, but you're afraid that if you do it, then your partner is not going to love you anymore. If you do it, then your parents are not going to support you anymore. If you do it, then other people are going to say this and that. And then we make up this story in our minds, and then it's huge, and then we don't say what we want to say. But if you really became yourself, are your parents really not going to love you anymore? I don't think that they will stop loving you. They might not understand what you're going through, but I feel like we always underestimate the power of love. We are surrounded by so much love, and yet we choose to see only the fear. People want to understand us. Our friends, our family, our community, they want to know who we are. That's why people say, just be yourself. Just say what you think. Tell me, how do you see it? And even when they don't understand, they say, explain it to me. What do you mean by that? Help me to understand. Because people want to get the true you, the real you. And so don't be caught up in all this fear of something that appears like it's real when it's not, because this is what holds us back. From now on, tell yourself, fear is just false evidence appearing real. I don't have to believe that. I can be myself and I can still be loved by those around me. I can be myself and I can still contribute to my family, to my friends, to my community, and so on. The third thing to understand is that you are the only one who truly knows what you want, because desires are placed on our hearts, and I don't have your heart. I have a heart, and it's filled with my desires that I understand what I want to do. But by the very nature that I am not you, it means that I don't fully get exactly what you want to do. Even though you and I may be best friends, or we are sisters, or we are always hanging out together, I might get it if you explain it to me, but you are the only one who truly understand what it is you want. And that's really normal, because everybody has a desire, everybody has things that they want to do, and they're the only ones who really get it. So don't be afraid of that. Own it, know it, and be confident in that. I know what I want. I know what I want. I know what I want. You do know what you want. And so if you know what you want, then go about doing that. Go about the business of living it and being it and giving it of service to other people. No one else can really tell you what you're looking for or what you want. You have to describe that for other people. And so don't take a backseat on your own life, because nobody else is going to drive the bus for you. People can help you, but you really have to be in the driving seat, directing things, because you know where you're going. If you leave that responsibility to a friend, to a community, to a culture, to a parent, they really all love you, but they don't really know where you're going. So you have to step up for your own self, for your own life, for your own purpose, to do exactly what it is you want to do. So take that responsibility and do that for yourself and for other people as well. The last thing is that you have to take a step at a time. Take your time, one thing at a time, baby steps, if you would like me to say it in that manner. Because being courageous doesn't mean that I have to change every single thing in one instant. That can be overwhelming. So you can select an area of your life where you want things to change. And then you can think about how you want to bring about that change. And then do it slowly. If you're done with this aspect, then you move on to the next. And then you move on to the next. And while you do it in that manner, you build up confidence, because then you've done a small part and you're like, oh, hey, I can do it. And then tomorrow you do another part, and this is how things change. You know what they say, it's not that you just wake up and there's a brick wall. You actually lay brick by brick by brick by brick, and this is how you build a wall. So take it easy on yourself. Slow down. Because sometimes we want things and we want them now. We live in this culture where it's all about, do I have it and do I have it now? But we really need to take a step back and kind of see, how do I really want this to come about? Plan it and then take one step at a time until you get there. You can do it. I'm sending you lots of blessings and hoping that this week you think of one thing in your life that you really want to change and have been afraid to, and then see in what way you could bring about this change in a loving way, in a truthful way, without backing down to your community or to your culture or to anything that you feel has been holding you back. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that it helps you. If you have any questions or suggestions or things you want to add, please come and share them with us in the comments. We really learn a lot when we share, not only when you listen to me speak. I'm just here to kind of raise a topic, and then we can have a discussion and help each other to grow, to love, to be courageous, and to be true to who we really are. Have a beautiful week, and see you again next time. Namaste. Bye.